Wow, I just recorded my whole intro, except I forgot to hit the record button. So welcome to the repeat. But it started off with something like, hey, hello, welcome back to my bathroom. Why do we keep finding each other in here? Before we get started, I did want to take a minute to thank you guys for all of the support and kind comments that you left on my last video about the tornado and the religious stuff. You guys were great, and I just genuinely wanted to say thank you for that. But because that video was a little heavy, I wanted to lighten the mood this time around and tell you a couple of funny stories, or stories that I think are funny. So I hope you enjoy these stories. Be sure to stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you an adorable video I took of Bailey coughing the other day, and it's really cute, but just watch it, okay? Based on my last videos of the 411 on 911, y'all probably don't really know what to think of EMS. Y'all probably think that everybody hates it. It's a terrible job. I've maybe villainized it a little bit unintentionally. So I have a couple of really cute stories. Well, one's really cute. One is unfortunate, but also kind of funny. So I just wanted to change the tone a little bit and make this a little bit more enjoyable to listen to. When you are in that line of work and you have a shift, so like the example that I'm going to talk about today, there were 4 people on our shift. We had 2 trucks and or 2 ambulances to cover our area with. So, and there was just one station. So we all were at the station together when we weren't on calls. But there was another girl on my shift at the time. Her name is Brandy. She's no longer in EMS. In fact, she moved like across the country. But luckily, thank goodness for Facebook memories. Luckily, I made a Facebook post about this when it happened, and it popped up on my memories the other day, or I would have completely forgot about it. But so at the station, at this service, we each had our own private bedroom. And in our bedrooms were a bed, a desk, and a TV. And my bedroom was I don't remember at the time, it might have been the first bedroom. So everybody had to walk by my bedroom to get to their bedrooms. And I would sit on my bed and crochet a lot in between calls. And so one day I was sitting on my bed crocheting when Brandy walked by, and she stopped in the hall in my doorway. And there was no context for this conversation. She just blurted out, "I think I'm gonna have to start shaving my poodle." And I was like, okay, well, you don't already? I am very sensitive, so I have to be really careful about shaving. In fact, I'm thinking about starting to get waxes, which you have to understand, like, you know, when we had a really good shift at that time, and we were all very comfortable with each other and friendly, and we would talk about all kind of crazy things. So I didn't think anything about it when she told me that. But I told her, you know, I'm real sensitive. I'm thinking about trying waxing. And she looked at me and sorry, I had to repin my hair back. But she looked at me so confused, and she said, "What are you talking about?" And then I looked back at her, also very confused. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you confused about? And then she just kept staring at me. And finally I looked at her and I was like, are we speaking in code here, or are you talking about an actual dog? And she was like, no, I have a poodle and I keep having to take it to the groomer to get shaved and it's costing me a fortune. And then we both just busted out laughing. And that area of the female anatomy will forever be called a poodle in my house. I think it's the perfect little name for that. So you're welcome, ladies. Be kind to your poodles. Also, the poodles that are dogs, be kind to them too. But you know, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. But is it not? Poodle is the perfect word for that. Hey, sorry, real quick. I forgot to tell y'all about my nails in the last video. I was talking to you about them, and I did my Christmas nails I was talking about. Here's a better picture of them. I am obsessed with them. I am an affiliate with Revel. So I am going to film a tutorial at the end of this week that I think will help you guys, because some of you have actually used my affiliate link and purchased something. So thank you so much for that and for supporting this channel. If you're interested, all of that will be in the description. Please use my link, coupon code RNChristy20 for 20% off. But I did these at home by myself and I am freaking obsessed. This is not glitter, it's flakes, it's different, it's amazing, and I cannot wait to film a tutorial for you. Okay, back to the video. I feel like for this next story, I need to put this little disclaimer out there. The situation is not funny, okay? Do not mistake that I think what happened to this poor woman is funny, because it's not. But y'all are all the time asking, how do y'all cope with the things that you see, and how can you not let that affect you too much mentally? So this is an example of that. There is a video on TikTok that I've got to show you because it's the basis of this story. But I found this video on TikTok and became obsessed with it. So I went into work showing it to everybody.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
Anyways, I think that movie is adorable, and I showed it to everybody at work, and we just kept laughing and kept laughing about it. And it was a thing for a few weeks. We would say it in funny situations. Well, my partner and I that day, on this day, got called to a house for a woman that had, I don't remember how it came in. Maybe it came in as a dog bite. Bailey, that's my lip liner. No, I got your box right here. Look, there's your box. Don't chew my makeup. It may have came in as a dog bite. It may have come in as a fall. I don't remember. But this patient was someone that we were familiar with because we had run her several times. And she's a really, really sweet woman. Always very gracious and very appreciative. But she was having a lot of difficulty, and we would often have to go over there and pick her up out of the floor. And this day we got on scene, and she was outside, like face down on the porch. Why can't you chew your box? No, no, no. Stop. Chew your box. Not my makeup. Anyways, when we got up to her, we realized that, or they told us, we never saw a dog, but they told us that they were keeping a dog for somebody, and the dog attacked her, and it bit the top of her ear right here. It bit it completely off. I actually have a picture of it, but I won't show it to you. So we wrapped her head up, trying to control the bleeding, and she was so nice. She didn't have any other injuries, but we just felt awful for her. And at some point, of course, we asked her, where is the dog? Because, I don't want to get attacked by a dog. And I think they had it locked up or something. But anyways, me and my partner went to the ambulance to get the stretcher out. And both of us were looking at each other like, don't say it. Don't say it. And then we were both like, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog? Yeah, pet that dog.
You can go to sleep.
And we said that, gosh, I don't even know how many times after that call. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? It was really funny. But y'all always want to know, how do you cope with all these bad things? Well, that's how we cope. Again, very sweet lady. I hate what happened to her. What actually happened to her is not funny at all. But because of that TikTok video, and we had that little inside joke, and that part was really funny. But those are the things that help you rationalize, bad things and chaos, and you just find little bits of humor here and there wherever you can. Speaking of dogs, the most aggressive dog I ever came across while working in EMS was, believe it or not, a Cocker Spaniel. My aunt had one as a kid, and she was really nice to us, but we got a call one time. This story is actually not funny. It's very frustrating, but it's a true story. But we got a call, me and my partner that day got a call for either like unconscious or difficulty breathing or something. I don't remember what it came in as, but it was a pretty good ways away. So it took us, I would say, at least 15 minutes, if not more, to get there. And the reason that's important is because there's a lot you can do in 15 to 20 minutes. Well, we get there and we walk in the front door, and the patient is sitting in a chair, and there's a Cocker Spaniel at her feet, like guarding her, and then there's like 3 family members over in the corner, and they're just standing there watching it all. And this dog was protecting its owner, but it would not let us even get close to her. And from where I was standing, I could tell that she was in a bad way. She was already cyanotic. I mean, she was turning blue. You just slapped me in the head. Anyways, before Bailey so rudely smacked me in the head, she was not doing well. She was what we call circling the drain. She needed intervention right now. And that dog was not letting us near her. And I looked at the family and I was like, hey, y'all got to do something with this dog. And they looked at me and they said, well, we can't, it'll bite us. And I was like, so you want me to get bit? And they just stood there. They would not do anything. And we could have called the deputies. They could have shot the dog, but we didn't want to do that. But, like, this woman's dying. I've got to get to her right now. But that family, I guess, thought that I got paid enough to get attacked by a dog and then save their family member who was trying to die. But I was not, no. My partner wasn't even a medic. My partner that day was a EMT basic. I was the only person in that house that could do anything for that woman. And I told them, I was like, how am I going to take care of her if I get attacked by the dog? Like, no, do something with the dog. And they would not go near the dog. And I didn't want to have the dog shot, and I didn't really know what to do. That's something they don't teach you in school. You don't learn that anywhere in EMT school, paramedic school. There's no course on how to de-escalate a dog. I know now to, like, throw a comforter or something over the dog and then try to pick it up and move it as quickly as you can. But all I knew to do, because my partner that day was just kind of standing there, he didn't show any willingness to come up with anything, and the family was not helping, and this woman is dying. So I ran into the kitchen and I opened up their refrigerator and found some, like, deli meat, and then I just broke it off in little pieces and made a trail of ham into a bedroom where I could shut the door and lock it and then get the patient. But I carried her into the hospital. She was still doing poorly. And I honestly have no idea what her outcome was. I don't know if she lived or died, but she didn't die on me. I don't know if it's true or not, but Lee swears that he read somewhere that Cocker Spaniels are notorious for being aggressive dogs. So, I don't know. There was another dog. Her name was Fanny. She was an Australian Shepherd. And this was totally my fault. I don't blame the dog. I take the full blame on this one. But I knew that dog. I had been around that dog before. And she was an older Australian Shepherd. And I went back to the house one day for a call, and I saw Fanny on the porch. And I'm an animal lover. And I squatted down in front of her and was petting her, and I got too close to her face and she bit me right here. But it wasn't bad. I didn't need stitches or anything like that, but I had just a little bite on the face, but that wasn't fun. And then there was another time, I don't even remember what kind of dog this was. I think it was probably a mutt of some sort, but we worked in a really rural county, so there's a lot of houses that don't have neighbors and their dogs aren't fenced in. Our dog Oliver is actually not fenced in. He's highly intelligent. He knows his boundaries, and his job is to look after the goats and keep an eye on things outside. And he's great at what he does. So it's not unusual to have other dogs like that. But this day, this dog it wasn't charging me. Like, I'm normally not scared of dogs at all. I'm very much a dog person, but that dog was making me a little bit uneasy. And when I went to load the patient up into the ambulance, I guess I was driving that day because I put the stretcher in, and when I leaned over to make sure the stretcher was locked in, that dog bit me right on the ass. And his name was Rusty. But the whole time, the owner was saying, don't worry, he won't bite. Don't worry, he won't bite. Well, then I got bit right on the ass. And so after that, anytime I would go to a house with a dog that was out running around, and the owner would say, oh, don't worry, it's friendly, it won't bite, I would say, well, the last dog that bit me, his name was Rusty. Rusty also didn't bite, but he bit me right on the ass. So moral of the story, dogs have a mouth and teeth, and they can and they will bite. It's an animal. Expect animal behavior from an animal. Am I scared of dogs? No. I'm still pretty comfortable around 99.9% of dogs, but I feel bad for delivery men, like the UPS, FedEx drivers. I feel bad for them just based off of my own experiences, but my dad retired from UPS, so I'm sure he's got a ton of funny dog stories. Lee also had a really scary encounter with a dog, but that's his story to tell. I don't really remember all of the details, but there was another house that we frequented. I can't say that word. There's another house that we went to quite a bit. We were familiar, and this person had several dogs. He was in very poor health. The mobile home he was in was a mess, a wreck. There was junk all in the yard. It was just not a good situation, but I had never had any issues with those dogs. I always, kept my eye on them, but they never really got aggressive with me. But then one night, another truck had to go out there after bedtime, and I still wasn't asleep, so I could hear everything on the radio, and they went back to that house. And it wasn't just a few seconds after they got on scene, I heard the radio key back up, and it was another guy on my shift, and he was like, dispatch, I need the county out here. These dogs are getting aggressive. And I don't remember all of the details, but it kept escalating. And every time that the radio would key back up, you could hear the chaos in the background. And I don't remember exactly what they had to do, but I'm pretty sure the sheriff's department had to go out there and tase one of the dogs just so the crew could get to the patient. But I never had any issues with a dog. In fact, I went back to that house after all of that happened, and after that, dispatch had it in their notes to tell the crew about the dogs on scene. So the police showed up at that house when we would have to go back just in case the dogs got out of hand. But I never had any issues with them. It's just weird how some people they're okay with and some people they're not. There's also another story that I have heard my whole career. So it's been told by so many people that I honestly don't even know if it's a true story. So I could be repeating something that's just a story, but in either case, it's entertaining. But the way it was told to me was years ago, the crew went on a call, and it ended up being a cardiac arrest. And this was a long time ago. So it was back when, like now our cardiac monitors, like you see on TV, you see the defibrillator pads when they shock somebody, they put the paddles on them. This was back in that era. The current cardiac monitors now, they don't have paddles, they just have pads that you stick on the chest. So it's actually not possible to shock anything that doesn't have the pad stuck to them. But supposedly this is back when it was still paddles, and they went on scene for cardiac arrest, and there was like a little Jack Russell or Chihuahua or something like that. And while they were trying to work this arrest, that little dog kept biting them and biting at their feet and just really interfering. And there was nobody on scene that was helping with the dog. And the story goes is that during all of this, when the dog was once again biting their feet while they were trying to work a resuscitation on this patient, whoever it was took the paddles and poof, and shot the dog and then kicked it under the couch, and then they finished what they were doing. I have no idea if that's true. Is it horrible? Yeah. Is it funny? Also, yes. Is it relatable? 100%. I'm actually working on a video script right now of getting some things together about things that I did not learn in paramedic school that I wish I had, and that is actually a good thing to add to the list of things you are unprepared for when you get your paramedic license. There's certainly no course on how to de-escalate a dog or how to, you know, what you're supposed to do. And the sad reality is that when it's somebody's life, you do what you have to do, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for the dog, you do what you have to. Now, I have never seen anyone hurt a dog. I have never seen anyone tase one or shoot one or anything like that. So I'm very grateful for that, because I do love dogs, and that would be really hard. I did have a call one time where, oh my gosh, it was so sad. And it also made me so mad that we were put in this situation. That's one of the things, the issues that I have with EMS, is that you are grossly unprepared for the social work aspect. And what I mean by that is just, you go to school to learn how to fix someone's breathing, to give them a medicine, to keep them from dying. That's what you learn. But then when you get that license, you realize it's so much more than that. There's a lot of scene management and trying to control chaos. And one time we got a call, I think it was a maybe domestic violence situation. I'm not really sure of the details, but one neighbor's dog had attacked a smaller dog in this woman's mobile home. And honestly, I think more than anything, she called 911 for us to help her dog, which obviously we don't do. There's no ambulance for a dog. But when I walked inside of her mobile home, it was very bloody, very, very violent, and her dog was not dead, but her dog had horrific injuries, and it was pitiful. And the dog's hurt, so it doesn't want a stranger messing with it, and it broke my heart. And she was wanting us to do something to save her dog, and there's no saving her dog. The dog needed to be euthanized, and we couldn't do anything because, let's just hypothetically, let me just throw this out there. would I like to have been able to scoop that dog up and help that woman? Of course. But you can't, because what if you scoop the dog up, put it in your ambulance? Because here's the thing, she didn't have a car. She had no vehicle. She had no way to get to a vet, nothing. She didn't have any friends or family or nobody that could help. So, you know, the kind thing to do would have been to take the dog and take it to the vet and have it euthanized. But the reason we can't do something like that is because, well, one of several reasons. But what if we were to get that dog in our ambulance, and where she was at, it would have been at least a 20-minute ride to the vet's office. But what if we had got that dog in our ambulance, and on the way, a 911 call came in for somebody not breathing, or, you know, like a legit human emergency? You can't do that. You've got to be available at all times. When you're not working with one human, you've got to be available for another person. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. So there was nothing that we could do. I think I ended up calling law enforcement and hoping they could do something. I don't know what they ended up doing, but I think we did end up getting another call, so I had to leave. So I don't know the outcome of that, but that was kind of heartbreaking. And there's no, we have protocol books, but there's no protocol for dealing with animals. Unfortunately, it's on the job learning. I've got to put lipstick on, and I've got to fix my hair real quick. I have another video to film today, but I just wanted to sit down real quick and tell y'all some of these other stories since my last episode was so heavy. Again, I'm not trying to sell you makeup. If you want to know what products I use, check my Amazon storefront. That link will be in the description. I've linked a lot of things there that I use and that I like, but I'm not a professional makeup artist or anything, so these are just things that work for me. But that's a way that you can support this channel if you feel so inclined. But I hope you enjoy this cute little video that I took of Bailey the other night. He has always coughed as long as I've known him, but now, and I haven't got this on video yet, but now at nighttime after he coughs, he'll hawk a loogie now. So he'll and then he'll but he only does it when he's by himself and he doesn't know that I'm within earshot. But I've heard him do that several times now. Hopefully I can get that on video soon because it's super funny. But I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you very soon.
Confident?
Night, night.
See you in the morning.